Hey everyone, Andrew Hess here. Today what we're going to do is based off a question from one of you, and I thought it was a really good question. Let's say we have a Microsoft form that reaches out to Power Automate to send a vibe coded PDF. So we're going to make it look better, make it look nice and sweet. We'll add an image. All this can be done super simple by you and using Copilot. Let's get into it. All right, so first off, we have like a nice Microsoft form here. You see our Microsoft form? It's just a simple form, request inquiry. I filled this out. I have about 8 fields. One is a consent field, so maybe it's about 7 fields. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna send the responses to the user. When you're working on your Microsoft form, up here in settings, let's see if we can zoom in. Up here in settings, you can see when you scroll all the way down, you can allow the receipt of responses after submission, allow respondents to save their responses. So both of these things are settings that you could set up to allow people to save their own responses. But maybe since this is a professional form, organization, you want something more professional. Let's make a beautiful PDF today. I have anyone can respond on. Let's go ahead and go to Power Automate and build out a simple flow. All right, so today we're going to do a new flow. It's going to be an automated cloud flow, right? We want automation, request inquiry, and we're going to do it when a new response is submitted to Microsoft Forms. I'm going to go ahead and click create. So our first step is when a new response is submitted to Microsoft Forms. The first thing it's going to do is asking for form ID. I only have one form in here right now. If you do not see your form, you can always grab the form ID, which is in the URL. So you can see the URL up here. Right here in the URL, it says ID equals. You could then copy this ID right here to the very end of ampersand and use that. So let's just go ahead and do that. Just to show, just in case, sometimes my form doesn't show up, you can then type in the ID, put that in, and then it will recognize that form. So the next thing is after you do a get response from Microsoft Forms, you have to actually get the details of the form. So there's always a second action required. Get response details. All right, so form ID, it's right here. Response ID, and that is going to be right here, when we do the lightning bolt, response ID. So it's just pulling the response ID from our trigger. It then has some information in there. Let's do a compose. This is not something you need to do right now, but we're just going to look at the data in here. We can see that we have our data, which matches our form. So take a look at our form, personal information, full name, email, phone number, date of birth, current position title. All of that data is in there. Take a look at it here. Full name, email, phone number, date of birth, current position title, best time to reach you, reason for inquiry, consent. Let's see. Oh, so if you don't see all of your fields, remember there's normally a little gray button right here that's see more, and you can see all that information in there. Okay, so we have all that information in there. What I want to do now is I want to be creative and I want to create a beautiful HTML of our responses. But to do that, instead of like writing it myself, I want to reach out to Copilot. I want to make Copilot do some awesome work. So I'm going to open it up on my Windows 11. So Copilot, I'm going to open up my Copilot app. And normally what I like to say to people is, pretend you're having a conversation. Don't try and get this one-shot done response. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. With AI, normally you never get the same response back. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the Smart GPT-5. And I'm going to kind of give it a story. I'm going to have a conversation with it. Pretend you're talking to a person and they need to understand kind of the background. So give Copilot a background. I'm going to create a PDF document based on Microsoft Forms responses. I want it to be beautiful. We will convert to HTML in Power Automate. Let's say something else like there will be 7 fields. And then just tell, this is another thing I like to do. Just listen right now. I don't want it to really, like, it might start like writing all this. Just listen right now. So you're just saying, hey, Copilot, just listen to me right now. Got it. That way it gives me like a short response. It doesn't try and create everything. Copilot, you're my Copilot. I'm the pilot. I want you to follow my directions. So just listen to me right now. So it's got it. Okay. This is great right here. So it's kind of giving us more. Like, what are some beautiful PDF layout ideas? How can I enhance the design with HTML, CSS? What Power Automate tips do you recommend? Let's start off right here. What are some, so right now we're like in this strategy phase, right? We're kind of strategizing using AI to help us build out something beautiful. So what are some beautiful PDF layout ideas? So a minimalist, clean, card-based layout, time. These are things I would have never thought of. This is crazy to me. And just typography, larger, bold, and kind of understand on example concept. I like that. So I don't want minimalist, right? Lots of white space. That's not something I want. Card-based layout. Let's try card-based layout. Let's try card-based layout. Let me give you a screenshot of our fields. All right, so now I'm going to take a screenshot of the entire form. I'm going to zoom out. Then I'm just going to snip, right? I'm going to come here. I'm going to snip. I'm going to take the top part. I'm not going to do the consent, right? The consent's not important to me. I'm going to do a screenshot. Now I'm going to go back to Copilot. Let's see if I can paste in here. I paste in my form. Okay. Let's try card-based layout. Let me give you a screenshot of our fields. Perfect. AI is now building this out for me. All right. Let's just try this right out of the box. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy, and I'm going to compose. And in compose, I'm going to put in the HTML. So now we're going to come in here to our actual fields. And you see where it put in these brackets, these double brackets? We're going to replace these with our lightning bolt fields. So full name, email, phone number, date of birth, position, so current position, best time. Okay, we'll put in best time. Best time to reach you. Reason for inquiry. Make sure I'm not in the way. I might be in the way right now. Let me see here. Okay. Reason for inquiry is right here. Reason for inquiry, and then it looks like it has the date already in there. It kind of gave more. It even says powered by Power Automate. Pretty neat. Okay. Maybe we can change that if we want to. We're going to leave that in there for now. I am going to change this a little bit after we get it working once. Okay, so we have this beautiful HTML. The next thing we want to do is we want to send this to OneDrive. And the reason we want to send this to OneDrive is there's a neat little trick that you don't need a premium connector for. Now, if you didn't do this with OneDrive, you may need a premium connector, but we're going to take HTML and convert it to PDF. So I'm going to go to OneDrive, and I am going to create a file. All right, so it's asking for a unique path. We probably would want a unique path. I'm just going to put it in the root for now. The file name is requestinquiry.html. Right? So it's important that you do HTML first. In this compose statement, we vibe coded HTML. The file content comes from our compose statement, the outputs. Okay, now there is a special convert file using path. I'm going to say convert file using path. And the path is going to be our root. And then I'm going to give it, or let's just do root. And then I'm going to give it the name of the file here. So right here, request inquiry.html. I'm just going to give it that root right there. The target type is PDF. Okay, let's just test this out now and see how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and click save. And let's give it a test. All right, so now we need to update and we need to actually test this. So let's go ahead and give it a test. It's waiting for me to test one time. Let's do preview. Start now. Let's fill out the form. All right, so Andrew Hess, A Hess 543 work@hotmail.com. Put in a phone number. Now you have to realize with Microsoft Forms right now, this is the limitation. You cannot force an email. If someone writes in the wrong email, and this is used externally, this is going to fail. So we have to be careful about that. Demo, supervisor, best time to reach me, training, agree, submit. Okay, so now that we have submitted one of the forms, Power Automate should kick in and start running the flow, and it did. It's all green. Let's go to OneDrive now. And in OneDrive, we can see our HTML, and look at that. It's already looking beautiful. Right now, I think this looks beautiful. Like, wow. So generate down here, UTC time did fail. We need to update the time. Okay, so let's go back to our compose statement. So the time part failed all the way down here. Let's do a lightning bolt. No, not a lightning bolt. Let's do an FX formula, and it is UTC now. And we probably want to format date, right? So we'll do format date time, UTC now, and then we'll do year, month, day. However you want to see your date. Okay, add, save. Now we added that in there. That looks beautiful. It looks really, really good. Now I want to add a little more to it. I want to add my company's logo. I want to add some branding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a SharePoint site and I'm going to store my company logo. Now just bear with me. This is just a demo, but we're going to go to SharePoint. And we're going to go to our company logo. It is in my company assets site. And where am I going to store this? In my opinion, you should store this in site assets. Because it's a site assets, it could be in a document library. It's up to you. My preference is site assets. So I'm going to go to the gear icon. Up in the top right, site contents, site assets. And this is where I'm going to store new folder, company branding, and then I'm going to upload my image. All right, so I uploaded my image. It is a robot guy with his thumbs up. This is my company logo that I'm going to add to the PDF document. Now we need to continue that conversation with Copilot, all right? So let's go back to Flow. The cards look beautiful. I didn't even plan this card. Like I'm doing this demo kind of live right now. I do a little bit editing, but I did not plan out doing this cards. Copilot decided to do it this way for me. So let's keep going with the conversation. Okay. I uploaded an image to my SharePoint site in the site assets library. I want to use this image for branding in my document. Here is the link to my image. So now let's get the link to my image. I'm going to come here. There's a few different ways to get this, but one easy way is to come up, click on it like a checkbox, click on details, and in details, let me move me again. In details down here, you can find the path. You see that right there? copy direct link. That's a good way to get a good link. It's a simple way to get it, okay? And then let me add a little bit more to it. Remember, Power Automate prefers images in base 64. So just remember, Power Automate prefers images in a base 64 format. So let's see how Copilot responds now. All right, so it got the address. It added in this. Can you add this to our entire HTML we had before? It was beautiful. All right, so now it's doing all of that. Let's see, where is it putting it? It's doing it in the center. So you see right there, text align center, margin. Let's put it on the top right. Let's put our branding image on the top right. All right, so we're kind of, giving it that extra little bit of detail. You can see these are comments. I believe this is a comment. And so, all right, we have this. This is beautiful. Now let's go back to Power Automate. So let's just take in the top part, right? All that work I did. Let's just take in this top part, the header with branding on the right. And I'm going to go back to my compose statement. And you can see right here, I have my header. You see the H1 style? I'm going to replace that with my new header. Now this outputs is reaching out to get file content, body content. That's all not going to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to SharePoint and I'm going to pull in that document. So I'm going to get file using, let's try get file using path. I like to use path. So get file content using path. My site is my company assets. Site assets. Company branding, thumbs up robot. Now, instead of just trying to push it in here, I'm going to actually build out this part right here, this data base 64. I'm going to do this in a compose statement. So I'm going to say compose, and I'm going to rename this one compose base 64. And in this compose statement, I'm going to do a simple fx base 64. And I'm going to pull in my get file using path file content. And then right here for the output, I'm going to replace it right after this comma with my compose statement. So compose base 64 outputs. Oh, wrong place. Let's try that again. Right here, I'm going to pull the outputs in and replace it. Let's go ahead and give it another try. This time I'm just going to do automatic so I don't have to fill out the form again. Test, automatic, give it another test. Automatically. Let's see what the document looks like now. All right, it all ran through. Go to OneDrive. Let's close this down. Reopen, modified a few seconds ago. And there it is. Now we have this beautiful form. We pulled on an image. We have the date down here, although I have it wrong. The D's should be lowercase. But you can see how beautiful this looks. Now we can make this even better. Let's take it to the next step. Now that we have this beautiful compose statement, right? We have this beautiful compose statement. Let's tell Copilot what works for us. All right. Okay, so now let's tell Copilot. Okay, this is what I have now. Let's make it even more beautiful. What's our company colors? Purple and yellow. Our company colors are purple and yellow. What else can we add to it? Can we also add slight shadows to our cards? Here's my current perfect HTML. I'm just going to paste in all that HTML, send it. So now it's going to make this even better for us. Just kind of give it a few seconds. All right, copy. Let's go to compose again. Let's paste it over everything. So it kept all of my information. We remember format, date, time was a little off. Oh, it even fixed it for me. I told it it was perfect. It decided to fix it for me. Even better. All right, let's give it a save. Let's just take one more quick look before we do the email part. Test, automatic, test, give it another test, and let's see what happens in OneDrive now. All right, it's running through. We have our company logo. Give it a refresh. A few seconds ago, open up. And now added in this yellow and purple. Change that. The date now works. We could add more to this. So this is where I'm going to leave it off to you. Look at how we use Copilot to make beautiful PDFs. I think this is where I'm going to leave it off for you guys. Now all we do is we do edit. We converted the file. Now we want to send an email. So email through Outlook, not the notification one. We want to use Office 365. Outlook, email, send an email. Who are we going to send it to? Let's see here. We need to use dynamic content. The email is going to go to our email field, which is right here, email. Let's see, your request inquiry by Hess IT Solutions. Attached PDF document. And then down here we can, let me move me. Show advanced parameters in the attachment field. This is where we'll give it the name. So this will be, let's just do their name. So let's see, full name .pdf. Content is our file content after we convert. So we converted to HTML or converted to the PDF. That all looks good. It created that simple JSON for us. Okay, and then the last thing we want to do probably is delete the file. We never created a PDF. We just have an HTML. So in order to insert dynamic content, one way is just to do backslash, not question mark, backslash. And then you can insert dynamic content and we will delete the unique identifier, right? It's looking for the unique identifier of the file. I'll put that in there. And then let's just give it another test. Let's see if we get an email to my Hotmail account. And I'm just going to, let's do a manual. Let's do a manual trigger. So Andrew Hess. Now you have to be careful with emails right now. I'm not going to go into the flow and do all this work about if the email fails or anything. That's a whole nother video that you may need to go into. But you need to be careful. If someone types in an email wrong, it will not email them, right? So it's very important that they put in the correct email. All right, and then partnership, agree, submit. Now this should run the flow, and I should personally get an email to my Hotmail account, which is external to my organization. And it deleted the file, so that's great. I got an email. I can see that I got an email right here, and you can see it's andrewhess.pdf. Open it up, and it is our entire form PDF. I mean, beautiful, right? And then so you can download this. You can download that PDF if you want. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave you with today. We did Power Automate, Microsoft Form. We created our own PDF. We created the file, converted it, sent an email, deleted the HTML that was in OneDrive. There are things you need to think about. This is using OneDrive, so if a person uses if this is on a personal OneDrive, if that person leaves your company, this could break the flow. Maybe use a service account for OneDrive. All kinds of little things in there that you could think about. But this is a full flow. If you wanted to vibe code and transparent watermark in your PDF, you could probably do that. This is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I know you guys can create something better than me. Thank you all for watching. My name is Andrew Hess. I'll see you next week.